Hey guys, thanks for visiting my YouTube channel and this special user-submitted question. Now, every day on the John Campea Show, Monday through Friday, we take live viewer questions and people send in tips and super chats to support the channel. But every once in a while, somebody sends in $50 or more. And when they do and attach that to a question, we like to honor that by answering the question in the show and answering it in its own standalone video. So that's what we're going to do right now. And this one today comes to us from JJ the Sith Plane, who writes, for the next phase in the MCU, who can you see playing as the leader? Kind of like Cap. I was thinking maybe Cyclops. All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And yeah, ever since Endgame happened and our two de facto leaders of the Avengers side, Captain America and Iron Man, are both now, at least temporarily, out of the picture. And I say temporarily because, come on, we all know they're both going to be back. Captain America will be back at some point with Chris Evans, and Iron Man will be back at some point with Robert Downey Jr. It's going to happen. Maybe not this year, maybe not in 3 years, but eventually they'll be back. But currently where we're at is that the two kind of de facto leaders in the whole Avengers universe are now gone. Who takes their place? Who becomes that new captain of the ship, if you will? Well, one of the things that you're suggesting yourself is maybe Cyclops. Now, while Cyclops has been a tragically misused character, even in the best X-Men movies, one of the things they always seem to get wrong is their handling of Cyclops. If you know the comic book, Cyclops is a true born leader. He is a great example of a leader. And he's somebody who could, in a way, kind of fill those shoes, except in a traditional sense, Cyclops is more of a leader of the X-Men rather than of an Avengers type, although you could cross them over. The big problem, though, with that is this. Kevin Feige has already said you're not really going to get X-Men stuff in this phase. So I don't think we can look for Cyclops emerging as a leader of the Avengers in this next phase of the MCU movies. Kevin Feige's already made it kind of clear that he already had his plan for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, and they didn't include X-Men yet, so we'll see when they come along. So that leaves us with the other characters that we have. Now, setting aside the notion that we can get other characters introduced that we've never met before into the MCU in these next few films, let's set that aside for a second. Out of the current players and the current roster that we have in the MCU, who are likely candidates to step up and kind of be the leader figure? Well, there's a couple of obvious ones. Number one is Captain Marvel. Apparently, she is one of the, if not the most powerful of all the Avengers. She also has military training. She was in the Air Force. She is a military person, which gives her some training in leadership. She's also been around and doing this for a lot of years, which means she's got a lot of experience. You put all of that together, it seems like it makes it pretty good sense that she could step up and be that leader. But remember, for a number of years, after Infinity War and during the events of Endgame, she was working directly with Natasha, who was kind of de facto leading the Avengers at that point, Black Widow that is, but we know what happened there. So I think Captain Marvel is one of the options. Another big obvious option is going to be T'Challa. I mean, the dude's a king. His whole life has been about training to be the leader and ruler of a people. So that kind of makes him a common sense one to look at. The drawback of T'Challa, though, obviously comes from the fact that he's going to be a little busy, being king of his country. So that could be a little bit of a drawback, but that's why I think he's another good name that we got to keep in mind. Another person to keep in mind, Rhodey. I mean, besides the fact that he was really tight and close friends with Tony and probably knows the Iron Man tech better than anybody else other than Tony, the fact of the matter is, again, big military resume. He is a leader. Being a leader in military tactic situations is what this guy has kind of done for a long time. So although he's never been kind of a stand at the forefront guy before, he could carry the resume to kind of be a de facto leader at this point. The fourth person I want to point out is Doctor Strange. Now, obviously, the drawbacks on Doctor Strange is this. He doesn't play well with others, and being, Sorcerer Supreme and having his own kind of group and organization that he needs to look after and run, that becomes a drawback there. But he's also extremely powerful. One could make an argument that nobody in the Avengers movies stood toe-to-toe with Thanos quite as well as Doctor Strange did, like he did in Infinity War. That was actually pretty cool. So there's that. He's a doctor. He's kind of a take control as a surgeon, as a doctor in an operating room. He knows what it is to take charge of a situation, to think through a problem, to come up with a solution, all that kind of stuff. So he could be a guy as well. So those are 4 potential standout people I see as maybe taking over that leadership role within the Avengers. Captain Marvel, T'Challa, I think Rhodey, and I think Stephen Strange. There could be the others as well. The question is, guys, what do you think out of those 4 that I selected, or would you think about somebody else outside of that? I want to know your thoughts. Jump down to the comment section below and let me know what you think. That will do it for me for now, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. My name is John Campea, and until the next video, bye-bye.